A lot of people have been seeing headlines or hearing about housing prices dropping, and I just wanted to make this quick video to kind of go over uh, the difference between perception and reality. So, this article right here came out from Bloomberg. It was actually published yesterday, October 18th. And there's a couple of things that you just want to be aware of when you're looking at headlines. So, first, it says California home sales dropped 30% as higher rates hit costly market. So, the first thing that I want to point out is home sales differs from home price. So, basically, the home sales is the amount of houses that are actually closing or selling. So even though you may read an article headline like this, it doesn't mean that home prices are dropping 30%, just that fewer homes are selling. It does say that listings take longer to find buyers, with the majority of deals below asking prices. And that's where I want everybody to kind of take into consideration that there is no national housing market. I've said it many times before. Real estate is hyper local, and I'll actually go over some data from one of our local markets here in Northeast Ohio, basically showing the statistics that we have and how it differs compared to California, which is obviously a much different market. But anyways, reading a little further into this article, says home sales plunged 30% in September from a year earlier. Prices appeared to plateau, rising just 1.6% from last September, and the majority of homes sold below asking price as properties stayed on the market for a median of 22 days, which is more than double last year's selling time. So basically, just going over the first two little paragraphs right there, I wanted to show Medina City School District because I grew up in the Medina area and just wanted to show some easy numbers for people to wrap their heads around. So first, I wanted to start out with the dollar per square foot ratio. And you could see here that, so obviously we don't have all of October's data in yet. So for the last month that we've completed, September of 2022, houses in Medina County, or I'm sorry, in Medina City school districts that are single family properties sold on average for $177 per square foot. That continues the trend since basically really all year. Since February of this year, we have had every month but one hit at least $170 per square foot. But when you compare it to last year, you're actually seeing over a 10% increase year over year from September of 2021 at $159 a square foot to September of 2022 at $177 a square foot. So even though California only saw 1.6% difference basically from September last year to September this year, we're still seeing a 10+% difference in home price appreciation. After that, by the way, if you did want to see just the sales price average, just quickly, I'll go over that here. You could see the average home sold for $333,000 in September of 2022 compared to $291,000 in September 2021. So that's the difference that we're looking at there. As far as the comment for the majority of homes sold below asking price, I can actually show you here the sale price, which is the closed price, versus the list price or asking price. And basically, since the second half, July of 2020, we have actually seen, on average, houses sell for exactly what they're being listed for. So it actually ended up peaking this year in June at 103.4% of the list price is what houses ended up closing out at. But you could see that you're still basically getting exactly what you want as long as you're listing the house at a reasonable price. We are starting to see median days to sell. We're starting to see that trickle up a little bit, but that wasn't the case for most of 2022. So really, January of 2022, we saw interest rates at 3.1% for the 30-year fixed average rate, and now it's at basically 7 to 7.5%, depending on your credit worthiness, essentially. So you are seeing that days on market, the median days to sell has been extremely low. This is actually the first time all year that we are taking a little longer to sell than last year. And realistically, September of 2021 compared to September 2022, it's a day difference, unlike the more than double last year's selling time for California. So once again, real estate is going to be hyper local. They are predicting or projecting, and this is for the California Association of Realtors, they're projecting a decline of 8.8% next year. The good news for any home buyers who have bought within the past couple of years or even before that, once again, if we go back to our price per square foot ratios, again, if you bought in 2020 and you're like, oh crap, I'm going to lose 10%, which California typically is a more volatile market than Northeast Ohio. So I don't expect that Northeast Ohio would see a 9% decrease next year. But even if you did, and you bought in 2021, you still would be able to sell for what you sold or what you bought the property for, and possibly a little more. And that's kind of not a worst case scenario, but definitely not a scenario that I think is likely. So that's kind of what we're seeing. The one statistic that I did see that was actually pretty accurate there from this article and from what we're experiencing is the home sales. So again, that's the volume or the amount of properties that are selling dropped 30% year over year. Let me actually go historic sales by month. You could see that in September of 2021, we sold 73 houses in Medina City School District. In September of 2022, that number was at 53, which isn't too far off the norm from 2020 and 2019. But overall, if we go to historic sales by year, you're seeing that we are well off pace. Again, this is with 9 months data, so 75% of the way done here. We're probably on pace for closer to 550 sales for the year, 550 to 570, something like that. And obviously that is well below any of the previous 5 years. And that's just because with interest rates getting to 7% or greater, yes, that kills buyer demand. So fewer buyers are either A, qualified to buy, or B, maybe they're just sitting it out. But it also kills the seller incentive to sell, because if they have a 3% interest rate right now, why do they want to trade that in by selling that house and buying at a 7% interest rate, which makes the house basically much less affordable or your mortgage payment much higher. So yes, demand is down, but supply is also down. And that's why realistically in Medina and in many of the parts that I serve, I don't really see a price decrease happening. I do see some stabilization, but and probably not the double digit house price appreciation that we've seen the past couple of years. But I definitely still see a strong market. And if you're looking to sell, it's still a great time to sell. If you're looking to buy, unfortunately, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to get a tremendous deal just because interest rates are keeping the mortgage rates pretty high for you. So if you have any questions, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, I'd love to talk about this, but feel free to reach out. My name's Caleb Barney, and I'm a realtor with Russell Real Estate, and have a great day.